and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 3. We have come to the climax of the Caribbean, and we be sailing into some pretty uncharted and shark-infested waters. How do I know they're shark-infested if they're uncharted? I don't know. I don't fucking script these openings anymore.
I don't know, maybe you just heard rumors from people who went to the uncharted waters, encountered the sharks, got out of the uncharted waters, and came back, but didn't bother to chart the damn things.
It makes perfect sense. Also, thank you for those of you who actually pointed out that the Leviathan, Sora's ship, actually has a Leviathan from Final Fantasy on the front of it. That's why it's called such.
Worried about you.
I see. I thought it was just kind of a generic reference to Leviathans, not necessarily the Final Fantasy Leviathans, but I was unaware they actually had one on the front, so that's good.
Tia Dharma has fucking scarpered. She turned back into Calypso. Look, even they lampshade the fact that it's like, oh, we have to skip over large portions of the movie.
Taken by Colonel Beckett.
Yes. And Beckett commands Davy Jones.
Yeah, just in case you weren't aware, he is he's big dick on campus right now as Colonel Beckett.
Thought we could defeat them.
Hey, you gotta fill in Donald, because you know he ain't gonna follow what's going on. I sure ain't.
Oh gosh, I got the box set, so I'm clear to go.
It's pretty much just reading the wiki of the movie at this point.
But it didn't work.
Yep, we are SOL right now. And by the way, don't worry if you don't bother to upgrade your ship. You don't need to. It's really only going to help in one portion of the upcoming fight, not even the boss fight.
Yeah, like I said, I went into this without my ship upgraded at all. I did fine. I mean, you have to play a little tighter as a result, but it's still quite beatable.
All the power under sea you ever wish for, Mia.
And then Triton comes out and finally explains why he knows about the Keyblade, which they've never fucking done yet.
She's the one who was helping us.
That's, you know what? You know what? That's so true. I just remembered that he knew about the Keyblade and then nothing. Like, they've never brought it up again. And that I'm actually want to know what's going on there.
You'd think Union Cross would be like a perfect chance to do so, but yeah. Well, I think the time has passed right now.
Yeah, well, big shock that Union Cross disappoints as usual.
You have not. No, you will not bait me into getting me to defend Union Cross. I haven't played it either, okay?
Alright.
Wait, really?
Roasting Sora is a prime-time activity in Kingdom Hearts 3. Sometimes warranted, sometimes not.
Yeah, I think they just need like a checkbox for each scene. Alright, Sora and Donald have to roast each other. Sometimes it just, again, comes out of nowhere, but I guess they have a quota to meet.
There's still hope for us.
Elizabeth is hype.
I mean, wearing a get-up like that, I would imagine you have to be a little hype.
You listen to me. Listen!
No one was saying anything, Elizabeth.
Whoop, there she goes.
I guess it was more boisterous in the movie, but here it's just like, no one was scripted anything, no one's gonna say anything.
Well, let's give them some credit. At least they managed to put an actual crew on the fucking ship for a change.
Very true, very true.
Now my question is, obviously this is based off of like an action movie. I know some of the characters are represented by, you know, their live action actors. Are any of the crew members, do any of them actually match any of the extras they may have used in the movie?
Oh, God knows, mate. I didn't keep track on the extras. I was just looking at, like, fucking Jeffrey Rush over there being like, I'm having the time of my life.
And you know what, now that I think about it, in terms of adapting this kind of movie, they have to pay for likenesses of the characters, don't they?
I would assume so, yeah.
I mean, Davy Jones, he commands a huge, profit. All of his tentacles want representation.
I just like the idea of him sitting, like, behind the scenes, sipping a latte and going over the script and whatnot. I like reading the script to get in the mood, so I do. Just to do a Davy Jones impression, you just have to add to the end of all your words.
Yeah, well, I don't think it worked quite well, but you do what you can.
Yeah, let's sail right into this maelstrom. This seems to be a good plan.
I mean, it's at World's End. It can't be at the coffee shop, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think this is such a good idea. Too late. Too late, the sea has claimed us.
Is this like the Pirates version of Chicken or something? You know, instead of a canyon, it's a fucking giant water vortex?
I guess so. I mean, just imagery alone is so iconic. Like, who am I to question whether it's logically feasible? If it looks cool, it is cool.
Yeah, that water vortex is pretty cool, but I knew a guy who parted the seas with just the book and 10 commandments. I mean, he was really on the ball.
I know the same guy who did it with a Beyblade.
Wow, really?
I'm not fucking with you. In one episode of Beyblade, I don't know what series, they show someone who is clearly Moses parting the sea with a Beyblade.
You know what? You know what? I think I have seen that clip. I am actually remembering it now. Holy shit.
No one knows what's in the chest we're looking for.
It's always good when you have an objective, but you're not quite sure what it is, but might as well go for it, right?
That's what the organization is all about, though. Vague goals, happenstance, and all that shit.
Somehow this will cause world peace or some shit like that. Listen, I haven't figured out all the details, but my motivation is on point, and that's enough to act on.
So what do you think is in the chest that would be hopeful for the organization or their goals, Helldragon?
Let's see. I'm trying to get into the mind of Master Xehanort. I have to be one of the more boring antagonists, I'm sorry. That's a good question. Because if it's hope in terms of the organization based on what we learn at the end of the game... Listen, look, all I want to know... It better had instead be like a time capsule from like the 80s or 90s. There's GAC in there. There's a VHS of Rocco's Modern Life. Shit like that.
No, that's Nickelodeon. We're gonna get fucking sued over here.
Well, I mean, it's Disney. They could win, right?
Yeah, well, they claimed the full percentage of Hulu recently. Anyway, let's fight a zombie Kraken.
They're looking for hope?
Yeah, okay. Few questions. First off, when did the Kraken die?
He died, I believe, during the beginning of At World's End. Cutler Beckett ordered Davy Jones after he took the dead man's chest to basically kill the Kraken so he's not a threat anymore.
Okay, so 2, how did he become a zombie Kraken?
I don't know, it's whitish, so you could very well assume that since Luxord brought this guy up, he's a nobody Kraken.
Okay, sure. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. This fight isn't super bad. Like I said, I have a level 1 ship. It's not, you know, you have to play a little tighter, but you can do it. The big thing you have to remember is that while you're trying to chase off this other ship that's attacking you, you've got to aim for the gaps in the Kraken's, you know, tentacles here to hit it. And you have to really make sure you want to be on point, because like I say, because as you see, upper left-hand corner, you do have a damage. You've got you're on a timer, basically. So you want to make sure your shots are precise and try to get him in as many passes as possible.
It's not that complicated, man. I don't think it needed that big of a spill. Dodge the things and hit the thing would have sufficed.
Well, I mean, you are now in a separate gameplay form again, so you may as well have a bit of clarity. See, I mean, this is what happens if you're not aiming. You accidentally hit the tentacle wall.
It doesn't matter when you got raging cannons going, right?
I guess if you have magic powers aboard your fucking magic pirate ship, I suppose it works.
I just love, like, he comes up, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get him now. Oh, fuck, he got me hit me lights. me fuck me orbs.
Go to the other side and try it again. This time, that'll work.
So yeah, if you have upgraded your ship, this will just go by that much more smoothly, quicker if you will, but otherwise, it might take you a try or two.
I mean, I did on the first try. Using the raging cannons, obviously, as you're doing here, is a great way to knock down that health meter, so you're pretty much in the clear at this juncture. I didn't have that much luck. I still had to be a little bit more precise, but again, first try, I was able to clear it.
And now we get on to the main event, Davy Jones himself.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised this guy was a fight, because again, A, I haven't seen the movie, and B, I'm not sure how they, you know, settle things in the film, but actually fighting him is interesting.
Yeah, I was very, very hopeful that they'd actually put him in, because he wasn't part of the first, like, reveal trailers, and, yeah, Dead Man's Chest, Davy Jones, fucking Kraken, boom, it's all there, baby.
I'll not be giving you anything.
I'll give you a kiss, does that work?
Then I invoke the right of parley.
No.
See, he's like, no, just fucking cut it out right there. You just fucked it all up for everybody, okay?
Besides, I've already got all that I want, mate.
But why don't you have this?
This is great. He breathes on Luxor and that's it. He's defeated.
What is it with Disney characters clowning on the fucking organization in this game? It's amazing.
It still works.
I love it. I love it when no, you have to understand. You know I don't like the organization, so watching them get dunked on constantly is fantastic.
Giant Spada. Are you lost?
How do you get lost on a ship?
Yeah, it's just kind of like you go north or you go south. That's about it. Funny thing, Luke Sword just fell off the ship. His voice actor is still with us. That's Robin Atkin Downes as Davy Jones, played by Bill Nighy in the films, who was actually recently in Detective Pikachu. But here he's, Robin Atkin Downes also voiced him in like Disney Infinity and so on.
I see. Well, I suppose it's better and cheaper than getting the authentic article. But yeah, we do fight Davy Jones, which just kind of slipped in out of nowhere. He's pretty fucking easy, actually. I did not have any trouble on this guy at all, because you have to remember, with some of the other bosses you face in this game, this guy actually has fairly predictable, none too crazy attacks. Really the only challenge you have is when the Kraken kind of comes out, because he'll do that. He'll have the Kraken kind of grab the ship, and you have to work over the tentacles while he's attacking you, and that can be a little challenging. But he actually you can combo him, fairly long. His attacks are pretty predictable and easy to block. So yeah, I had no trouble on this guy whatsoever.
Well, let's see, if I was doing a Kingdom Hearts battle review, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10, just like that.
I mean, if you like the movies, yeah, it's cool to have a thematic fight against Davey.
You don't remember those, do you?
Oh no, I remember those, and I was actually about to get to that next, but I'm
Okay.
just commenting that, again, thematically, if you like the movies, having a Davy Jones boss fight is cool. But yes, I do remember the battle reviews. Are you going to do some for Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, I'm fucking not. I've done a full playthrough.
Well, that's true. I mean, but with all the earlier bosses, you did not give them their battle review rating, so you have to go back and re-edit that in so we know exactly what you think in numerical terms.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 bosses, fuck's sake, here I go. I'm doing it live. Yeah, I accept the cookies, the Titans. I'm gonna give those an 8.5 out of 10. Rock Titan, 8.5 out of 10. Fire and Ice, I'll give them like a 7.5. Tornado, that can be a 7. Heartless Doll, fuck it, I give that like a 7. Toy King, I give that an 8, I suppose. That was pretty hype. Marvel Gothels Heartless, that's a 9. Davy Jones here, I'm going to give him an 8.5, because like how Dragon said, he's pretty easy, but it's a very enjoyable and hype boss fight, and a great cap to a really enjoyable variety stuffed world.
The scenario where you're fighting him in, again on the ship with the Kraken attacking from the background, that's cool, like in terms of theatrics, I like that. It's just that the meat of the boss fight is just a little simple.
I like how you said the Kraken attacking, and I don't know, it just ticked all the boxes in my mind that activated the pleasurable serotonin.
I mean, I wasn't even intending to make fun of him. No, that actually came off pretty well.
Do you remember the last time we fought a pirate on a ship like this? It wasn't nearly as fun.
That's true. Captain Hook actually had a shitty boss fight in comparison. So, and then let's not forget in Chain of Memories, where the damn ship was sliding back and forth, and that wasn't annoying.
Alright, let's have a bit of a never fear, shall we? Come on, Jack, let's do this.
I mean, if he's involved, he may as well throw a bunch of bombs. Although, I'm not sure why he didn't try this earlier, I'll be honest with you, considering his beef with Davy Jones.
Well, I guess he just needed Sora to do it. This is the best part, where you start, like, juggling Davy Jones, and you're, like, in the air fighting and whatnot.
You can actually juggle him pretty easily and get in some good combos, and that can be pretty fun.
Well, I guess he's going back to Kraken attacking mode.
The Kraken attacking, I mean, that's going to be my official name for it.
I really want to call the part that, but I've already chosen names for these episodes.
I mean, you shouldn't have done that ahead of time, because you never know what might come up during one of our insightful commentaries.
Yeah, you know, never know when Helldragon will say something amazingly funny. Something that, like, Variety or the NY Times will be like, damn, son, that's funny as fuck.
Damn, that's great. I'm gonna steal it for my own cartoon.
Yeah, it be like you do sometimes. Alright, let's get some agile claws out here. The reason I changed to these guys in the first place was I could have sworn that, like, the fucking frozen Keyblade was not working at the start. I don't know why. I've seen other people use it, but whatever. I'm just gonna juggle him with the fucking pirate ship.
Well, I mean, you have to remember that the frozen, Keyblade is more focused on magic. So with agile claws, you actually get a boost of strength that you probably need. And again, you really don't need magic on this guy. Just heal, beat his ass, you're good.
The guide I'm looking at here actually said Davy Jones will follow an extremely cowardly pattern, both fast to fight and fast to run. Yep, that about summarizes him.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just kind of dodge back and forth and then kind of port here and there. But again, not too hard to chase down.
The chest! Hand it over!
So, now we reached the part of the world where we have to reenact the last bit of the movie. But Donald is there too! So we've got to figure out some way to kind of keep them out of it.
Well, I guess you could say Sora's nerfed at this point, so we can't immediately go in for the kill. And we're in high-end CG cutscene mode now.
This cutscene is really good. I was like, wow, this actually looks really nice. I love the way it's like framing everything. It's great, actually.
This is directly taken from the movie, by the way. They fight their way up to, I don't know what part of the ship that is called. The thing near the crow's nest.
But again, Donald is there too, so we kind of have to push him off to the side.
Why are you focusing on Donald when Goofy's there and much bigger?
I don't know. No, I'm remembering that one tweet where they mentioned something about Kingdom Hearts and Donald is there.
They want to play He's a Pirate so bad, but for whatever reason they can't.
It must really be annoying to have like a lobster claw for a hand, because you can't hold a sword, you can't hold a gun, which would help a lot in this fight. It's just, you've got seafood all the time, but you can't eat it. It's terrible.
Well, don't forget, he's basically immortal right now. You know, without his heart, he can just do anything, feel anything, see every bad movie without dying of boredom, I suppose. Good job, Elizabeth. You tried, at least.
Bitch, please.
Did you forget?
Oh, I love this line.
I'm a heartless rat.
He's such a fucking fun villain, I swear to God.
So you are like a fan of Davy Jones kind of in general as a villain?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That awkward moment where we don't know the next thing we need to do in our fight scene.
Dreadful bond.
I mean, he's got tubes coming out of his face. It's kind of hard to tolerate that.
That's not true.
Here I am, with my anime platitudes, listen to me!
To learn about love.
I mean, at this point, I'm like, man, I was actually having fun, and then Sora jumps in and like, you killed it. You legit kind of killed it, dude.
I'm trying to reenact a movie over here, if you don't mind.
Can you, stop doing that, It's me, Davy Jones!
The whelp has seen far more of the world than you know.
Based Wingman Jack, and now the best line in all the world. In this world, at least.
William Turner. Do you feel death?
Love it.
You?
Got your nose, got your heart.
And we can't show the heart, otherwise that'll bump the age rating up.
Oh,
Well, that's true, yeah.
so this is
And then
all
Vexen
when
just is
they
like,
say,
I've got commentary too.
What the fuck is the difference between an ethereal heart and a real heart? And what does that mean for the soul? This doesn't make any sense.
He just says that and then leaves, and then the movie just continues.
You're a cruel man, Jack Sparrow.
You enslave people to your fucking fish ship. Shut up.
Yeah, well, you've got ramen for a face.
Oh god.
That would have been amazing if we saw that. And then he thinks this is gonna work. He just, fuck the Keyblade. He just, like, tries to choke a motherfucker.
That's amazing. He just punches him in the back of the fucking head.
Look at me! Look at me!
See, why doesn't Sora do cooler shit like this more often?
Because he has a giant whacking stick. He doesn't need to.
Which he didn't use for some reason.
Stole my judgment.
Bye.
When that gas hits you when you least expect it.
I helped, Elizabeth. I helped.
You know, I'm just starting to realize the downsides of putting my heart in a box.
His final thoughts are logical and pure.
Make quick or it's the locker for us all.
Starting to think it was a bad idea to go into this maelstrom of death.
Davy Jones did bury his heart, didn't he?
He put it in the dead man's chest. That's what was inside.
Can't we
Oh, I
see?
see. That's the point in the movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they just stabbed to kill him.
Dutchman.
I understand that's confusing, considering they didn't show the heart.
Yeah, so, I mean, at this point, he would have been looking at a nice diamond ring. I'm not sure.
I won't leave you!
Don't you forget about me.
Yeah, there's gonna be a pirate's captain for the Flying Dutchman. Sorry, I was thinking pilot for a second there. I don't know why.
Well, he's more of a singing Dutchman, but yeah, I mean, if it's a Flying Dutchman, you kind of need a pilot, technically.
Thank goodness, Jack. The Armada's still out there.
Thank goodness,
The Endeavor's
I
coming
summed up the
hard as
rest of the
starboard.
movie for ya.
I think it's time we embrace that oldest and noblest of pirates.
Now, apparently I hear that actor, I don't know who played him,
actually been
Peter
one of the
McNally, I'm probably getting that wrong. He was the only one that came back to reprise his role.
That's true, it's Mr. Gibbs, yeah.
George Washington is mad. He's just...
It's a good day to be British, with my Brit cannons.
It's nothing personal, Jack. It's just good business.
I think we can take him. Hope is not lost yet. Here's our ace in the hole.
the emerging Dutchman. Does it actually fly at all in the movie?
No,
now
it doesn't. It's like,
Then why is it called the Flying Dutchman?
I'm gonna look this up. You enjoy the scene.
Ready on the guns!
We have a crew now?
Full canvas!
Aye! Full canvas!
I prefer half canvas.
Use every cannon, essentially.
Just shoot him. He's like, oh. Wait, we didn't load ours, did we? Oh no, that's bad.
Load Donald into the cannons.
Didn't the Cutler Bucket have like more than one
Cutler
ship?
Bucket!
Fire!
It's not Bucket, is it?
It's Cutler Bucket, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry, that came out wrong, but I think I
Oh
like
god, he's using the full bucket here.
it. See, that's why Davy Jones needed two.
This scene is perfect, except for the fact they did not adapt him slowly walking down the stairs while everything explodes around him.
I did see that clip, and I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. They actually should have put that in the game.
Like, for as mediocre as At World's End is, this is a wonderful parting line, by the way. Like, he can't forestall judgment, it's here, and they just murdered a bunch of guys, for real. There's no Keyblades involved. What was I saying? Well, it don't really matter now.
Fixing to say, I'm pretty sure Beckett has more than one ship. Are they done? Did they win?
Yeah, they're done.
Oh, okay. So I guess that's all he had, just one guy? Fair enough.
It was a big ship, though, to be fair.
Well.
The Flying Dutchman must have a captain.
It also must not be flying at any particular time.
I read the book, and that's what it says.
One day ashore, 10 years at sea. It's a steep price.
But oh, on that one day they're on land, they fuck so hard they repopulate entire continents.
Alright, that is too much of a description. Bootstrap Bill or whatever your name is.
No, that was Will's dad. He's dead. Well, he's not even in this adaptation, and neither was Davy Jones's crew.
Nah, fair enough. Because, I mean, it was kind of weird when Will Turner said man on guns and nobody else was there.
Thank you, Goofy. But not you, Donald. Stop talking to me like you know me.
Take care.
Guys, thank you so much for trying to choke out Davy Jones. I know it wasn't going to work, but I do appreciate the effort.
So yeah, this was a wonderful world. Tons of variety. Story-wise, a little bit of a letdown, but character interaction-wise, I think it makes up for
One
it.
day isn't enough.
I mean, it's alright. Really, you get more mileage out of it if A, you like the Pirates of the Caribbean films, and B, you're more into the open world aspect. I wasn't too crazy about this world as a result, but it did have some great set pieces, some great cutscenes, looked fantastic at points. So it's pretty kind of middle-ish for me.
This ending is perfect for me, though. It gives me chills every time, because it's such a simple message, but it feels so sincere. More sincere than a lot of stuff in Kingdom Hearts for some reason.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get you there, definitely. The Dissolving Dutchman!
No, that's not the Flying Dutchman. I'm pretty sure that's... Who even fucking cares? It's Krabs now.
The fucking crab ship, what?
It's Calypso taking the ship back to the sea depths. We'll just pan up and we'll forget we were ever here.
That's a good plan.
So yeah, the Caribbean, much better than that Port Royale shite in KH2. That's all the time we have for this part, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for a bit of an interlude. See you then. Best Keyblade ever!